Hey, Better Babes, welcome back to Getting Better. Today we're learning about something that I know nothing about, which is how you can get the best birthing plan for you. Bringing a person into this world, I literally could never, but someone who could, can, has, and helps people do it every single day, gorgeous, stunning nurse is none other than Jen Hamilton. She has taken the internet by a storm. She's on Instagram and TikTok dispelling misinformation, helping people understand birthing better, amongst other things like how to be an incredible and empathetic person. I'm a massive fan of hers. If you have not followed her yet, go look at some of her stuff now, and then we'll be here when you get back. We're covering birthing, after birth care, pre-birth care, and really what it is to be an advocate for maternal health in America in 2026. Jen Hamilton, thank you so much for coming on Getting Better.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Queen, I have to say,
yes,
the ills of social media, you know, like we can say a lot about the Instagram, we can say a lot about the TikTok and like, you know, what it's doing to people, but I got to say it does do good things because it brought me to you.
I know, and now we know each other in real life.
And really, finally,
yes.
I feel like I've been following you for like a year.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the first video was, but the president of JVN Hair became obsessed with you. She was like, this girl is so funny.
Oh.
And then I started following you and they're like, she's hilarious. And I do think that your husband's keratin treatment was one of the stories, but we'll get into that. Yeah, we can't, like, we're not starting there, but I'm just so excited to meet you in real life. And thank you for taking your time and congratulations on your book.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So exciting.
So for the people who maybe just don't know, maybe this is the first time that they're meeting you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your day job and how you became this like incredible advocate for maternal birth and maternal health and just health in general on the internet?
Yeah. So I started out on social media just watching like we all do. I had chickens and stuff, so I'd watch chicken videos and make chicken videos and stuff. But as I started going through social media, it learns who you are, you know? And so then it starts giving you things that you obviously are going to vibe with. So I started watching people who had birth stories to tell. And I'm a labor and delivery nurse. So like that was something that I was like watching. And I saw people of varying qualifications who would tell some, you know, medical information that maybe or maybe not be true. And so I started making videos myself. Like if they're going to do it, why can't I?
Yeah, because like I actually like graduated from college and everything. I'm like a literal nurse.
And I do continuing ed. And like I love to make sure that things are accurate. My patients have good information. So I started making videos and then it kind of just took off.
Was that like 2020?
It was around the panorama.
It was
around that time because everybody's at home. I was involuntarily homeschooling kids, you know.
Yeah, that was gross. Like a pivot.
Yeah,
what a pivot.
Yeah,
wearing so many hats.
I know.
And so then like social media starts to take off. And one of the things about you and I've seen you talk about this on social and I love that you do this, you're like, and I'm still in the hospital. I'm like still doing what I do. This is like where I feel joy and my connection. But then you're also just like slaying with viral video after viral video, like, and also meeting you in real life. I just have to say, my neurodivergence won't let me not.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's get this queen a skincare deal, okay? The glow on you, your skin, I sense it coming. I sense like, I don't know if it's CeraVe. I don't know if it's more like upscale. I don't know if it's like who Clarence. I don't know who it is, but I mean, get this girl a skincare deal. You're giving me Stunnerella.
Oh, thank you. I give all the props to Brenna, who I met this morning, who slayed my face. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, we love Brenna so much.
So good.
But you really could, I mean, you're stunning. So just slay for that.
You know what's crazy is I used to have like hella bad acne. And so I got on Accutane and it fixed her up. Yeah.
I have heard good things about that.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
But
it's brutal to
works.
go through. Yeah. But like it dries you out everywhere. Yeah. But yeah, I'm very glad that I did it.
Do you want to know this one thing that I used to love to tell my clients?
What's that?
I used to love that show on TLC, like A Birthing Story.
Yes.
And I learned what a VBAC was then.
Yeah.
So I don't know why this happened to me so much behind the chair, but it did. The amount of clients that I would have that had a cesarean and then wanted to have a vaginal birth second.
Yeah.
Like that just would happen to my clients a lot.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, oh, and I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a VBAC. And then they were always really impressed I knew what a VBAC was. And I was like, it's because I watch A Birthing Story when I'm bored on TLC.
It's such a good show.
It's such a good show. When did you know that you wanted to become a nurse? Is it because of your mom?
So yeah, my mom used to be the manager of Pizza Inn. Okay. So I watched my mom, and I would like go to Pizza Inn with her and like fill the little Parmesan shakers and stuff. And when I was 5 years old, my mom went back to school at community college. And so I would just sit and do my homework next to her while she is doing her homework. And so I was like 5 or 6 years old, and she became a nurse, and she is like a cardiac nurse. So she's worked there since I was, basically 5 or 6. And so, I watched her, and my mom is such a good like comforter when I'm sick. So I just thought that's what she does for other people. Like my mom makes me like Gatorade slushies with the like the washcloth on your forehead and stuff. And I was like, I want to do that.
My mom called a little hospital. Like when you were like your little station when you're sick at home. I love that.
Yeah. So my mom was my biggest inspiration for becoming a nurse.
I love that. So did you kind of know from an early age because of that? You were like, I think I want to go into this.
Yeah. And I started volunteering at the hospital where my mom worked, and I was like 15 years old. I was getting hella hours. I was getting like pins for like all my hours. Yeah.
Now, where was this? Because it's giving me
North Carolina.
I was going to guess that boy on TikTok who can guess accents and he can like tell where you're from.
Yes.
He should do yours, but now we just spoiled it.
Okay, yeah.
But
I'm
still.
from North Carolina.
But yeah, so Raleigh?
It's around there. I'm like an hour-ish away from Raleigh.
Now, because the name of your book, your first book, it's your debut book.
Yes.
It's Birth Vibes.
Yes.
If someone is just hearing like birth vibe for the first time, how would you describe birth vibes?
Yeah. So I feel like most people at this point have heard of a birth plan, right? So during our pregnancy, we plan for the things that we want to happen or not to happen when we're having a baby. So what I found was that people can have a birth that checks off every single thing on their birth plan, but still leave feeling unfulfilled or disappointed or not like that they were not heard or not respected. And so as I'm watching these people, I also saw that there were people whose birth goes totally off the rails, but they still have a positive experience if they do feel communicated with, heard, empowered, respected, like they were able to make their own informed and empowered decisions. So what I found out was that it's so much less what happens and more how it happens. So the first half of the book are all like HIPAA compliant. I always say that, like they're all stories that I'm allowed to tell, stories of real things that have happened in the hospital that show birthing experiences that go different than they thought, but still were transformative, beautiful experiences, showing that like you can have things go different and still feel good at the end. And then the second half is all the information I wish people knew before they came in. Because, we as healthcare people, we get jaded to like, we know all this stuff. And so if I come in and I start talking to you about the things that I already know or think that and I'm not trying to be funny, like sometimes I have to explain to people that they have 3 holes,
Poop, pee, and giving birth.
In the VBACs. Yes.
Actually, that happened to me in like 2018.
Yeah.
Where, not to like name check Anthony and Tam, but I will.
Yeah, okay.
We literally got in like, it wasn't a literal fight, but they were convinced that it was one. And I was like, girls, I've never even like seen a vagina in real life. And I can tell you, I guarantee you, it's 2 holes.
3.
Well, but in the vagina.
Oh yeah, not in the vagina. There's pee hole.
Vagina hole.
Vag hole.
Yeah. And then your butthole.
Poop hole. Yes.
Yeah. So, but like in the vagina, there's the 2.
What do you mean in the vagina there's the 2? What are you saying?
But like there's like your pee hole and then the vaginal hole and then your butthole.
There's 3 separate holes.
Yeah, but your butthole's not in your vagina.
Right. What do you mean in the vagina there's the 2?
Isn't there like where you pee and then like your like vagina hole? Isn't there like 2 holes?
They're all separate.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I'm confused about the 2 holes.
Because like in your vagina, there's just the pee hole and the vagina hole.
No. Vagina is the hole. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right, so you got your labia. Those are your lips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Lips, right?
Yes.
Inside those lips, you got the big lips, the labia majora.
And then
the little
minora.
Lips, labia minora.
Yeah.
You got your clit at the top.
It isn't, and that's not a hole.
That's not a hole.
No, that's like a little nub. Yeah,
okay, little nub.
Yeah.
Under that, pee
hole.
Okay. Under that, vag hole.
Yes.
Vagina.
Yes.
Then butthole. Your vagina is just the hole.
Right. But your poopy butthole is not in your vagina.
No, it's underneath.
Yeah.
I need to
that's
draw
all
you a
I'm
picture.
Saying. I'm just saying that like your butthole's not in your vagina.
Right.
So we're counting the butthole as a hole because it's a hole.
Yes.
I'm just saying that like your butthole's not in your vagina.
Correct.
So the
It's
vagina
not.
specifically has got the clitoris.
No.
No. I'm so kidding. I don't get it. Okay. So your vagina.
Your vagina is just the hole.
That's just a hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all right, so
But the landscape.
all right. Labia, pee hole, vagina, butthole.
But your butthole's like not even in the vagina, right?
But it's like at the bottom. Like, yeah. Like underneath.
You know when you realize that you're not just a dog parent? You are fully spiritually, emotionally obsessed. Like your camera roll is 90% of your dog. You're narrating their inner thoughts. And yes, you have absolutely considered buying merch with their face on it. And honestly, no notes. Correct behavior. Because if anyone gets being dog obsessed, it's OLLIE. OLLIE is relentless about delivering amazing food and an amazing experience for you and your dog. Their fresh recipes are developed by real chefs and backed by vet nutritionists with high quality ingredients and meals tailored to your pup. Everything is perfectly portioned, and they even send you a puptainer and scoop to make storing and serving easy. I'm especially very obsessed with those. Get ready for both you and your pup to be obsessed. Head to ollie.com/Elton. Tell them all about your dog and use code Elton to get 70% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. And just so you know, that's spelled ELTON. Plus, they offer an obsession guarantee. If you're not completely obsessed, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Elton and enter code Elton to get 70% off your first box. OLLIE, feed the obsession.
When we talk about our bodies getting better, I think a lot of us immediately go to working out more, eating perfectly, whatever that means, or trying to look a certain way. But constantly picking yourself apart is not self-improvement. It can steal your joy, your energy, and literally kill your actual wellness vibes, honey. That's why I want to talk to you about Equip. Longtime listeners may remember our episode with Katie Couric and clinical psychologist Jessie Menzel, which is where I first learned about Equip. Equip is a virtual eating disorder treatment program that helps make full recovery possible from home. And maybe you're not even sure if what you're dealing with is an eating disorder, and that's okay. Their team can help you figure out the next step, handle the insurance and provider coordination, and support you with a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses. It's covered by insurance, and there's no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health/JVN to learn more. That's equip.health/JVN. How does someone find their birthing team? How do you find your birthing team?
Yeah. So when you come into the hospital to have your baby, there's not much that you can do about who's already there because we do shift work basically. But when you first get pregnant, you have to choose your office, your doctor's office. And it's so important to find a doctor's office that you really trust. Because
so is that when you're vetting them? It's for the,
yes.
I like to be talked to like this.
Yes. And you can kind of interview people and see how they care for their patients or get advice from other friends who have been delivered by those people and see what their experience was like. But in order to have a really good experience, I think it starts with picking your team way ahead of time. And then if you get into the hospital and let's say you have a nurse who you're not vibing with, right? Because sometimes that happens. And I think in the book, I put scripts on how you can kind of get somebody else because I'm very much a people pleaser, right? So if I have a nurse that I'm not vibing with, I'm kind of just sucking it up.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to do that you can ask for a different nurse and there's ways that you can do that.
How would you coach someone to do that?
Yeah. So I would start out with their name. I think humanizing the nurse is great. And by the way, people can just say, I need a different nurse.
Yeah.
That is fine.
Yes.
Okay. I want to preface that. But if you're somebody who struggles with that kind of confrontation, starting with the nurse, okay, you say Jane, thank you so much for taking care of me so far. You're really good at XYZ. And I put in direct communication. You're really good at being direct. I need XYZ. That's different. I really need somebody who has a softer touch. Thank you so much for helping me facilitate a nurse change, right? It's like the compliment
You're asking
sandwich.
for what you need up front.
Yes,
You're doing
exactly.
it kindly.
Yes, because I think that nobody wants, not most people want to be confrontational, start something that feels like beef. But yeah, you absolutely can just say, I need another nurse. Or if you need help in advocating for yourself that way, you can kind of use scripting like that in order to compliment sandwich your way out of that situation.
So back to finding your team in your doctor's office. So you find out you're pregnant, you pee on the stick, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. How, is there an amount of offices that's a range of to go interview and see, you're like, okay, my friend had a baby here. Mm-hmm. My mom had her baby here. My sister had her baby here. I'm going to go to all, is it go to 3 and the one that you vibe with the best if you just really hit it off with the first one, or should you always get a second, just to shop around?
Yeah,
or?
I think get a second if you get bad vibes on the first, I think that they're also within a doctor's office, you have doctors, midwives, there's a whole team of people. So even if you don't vibe with the first person that you see, there's a whole office of people there. So I say that if you get into that office and you are talking to them and you're like, this whole office is terrible, then maybe we go somewhere else. We try somewhere else. But I think that, even within an office, there's so many people that you can see there. There's always the chance that person you don't like is going to be on call. But if you let's say there's 5 providers there, you like 4 out of 5. That's pretty
is it
good
5
odds.
doctors there?
5 doctors. There could be midwives also. So a midwife is someone who is usually a master's or doctorate level prepared nurse. If they're working within the hospital system, that's usually a certified nurse midwife. So they also can deliver babies and do prenatal care too.
When is too late to switch? What if you go the first time and the second time and you and the first time you're I don't know, but there's probably other people here and I can get down.
Yeah.
But then the second time you're when is it when do you need to know that you need to be finding a different place?
I'm going to tell you what you can do. I'm going to tell you what I don't know that I would recommend it. Okay? You can switch whenever the hell you want. Okay? You can show up to a hospital that you've never been to before in labor and they will care for you. Is that the best? No, because it's nice to have someone who knows your medical history, knows your background. You can always switch, but when you're starting to get into that 3rd trimester, that last part of pregnancy, really thinking closely and hard about how badly you need to switch, right? Is it a miscommunication about your scheduling, or is it a miscommunication, giving everybody a little bit of grace to try to say, is this something that I'm willing to completely leave this practice in order to have somebody that doesn't know me care for me now, which you can do. You absolutely can do. But I think whenever you're getting closer to the end, you got to think long and hard about whether that's worth it.
What would you say? What would warrant, go have another combo? A really disparate vision of the birthing vibes?
I think that if you have someone who is not listening to you, you bring concerns to them and they poo-poo them off, or they make you feel stupid or judged or anything like that, I think that typically doesn't get better in the hospital. So I think that that's one of the biggest red flags that I see. If they just make you feel bad, honestly.
And it's kind of what you were saying, it reminds me a little bit of doing hair, and it's someone might come in and they're well, I really want to be a bleach and tone, but I don't want to cut anything off, and I want it to be in 45 minutes. And it's
we have different ideals,
right,
different values.
But also it's for the hairdresser, it's we do this all day, every day. So it's whatever you're asking, it's we've heard it a million times. Where it's you might be so excited and doe-eyed and just really hoping that this was going to be the thing.
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of that ain't never going to fucking happen.
Right.
Sorry, sis.
Yeah.
It's I can imagine if you really had this vision or these vibes or this idea, and then for whatever medical reason, it can't be I can just, and this is not getting your highlights, it's having a baby.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine that the emotions, the temperatures, the pressure could just feel very intense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for friends and family members of the person who's going to have a baby, any advice, things to not say, things to say, I love this for a baby shower present. Don't fucking say, don't bring up the VBAC. Don't bring up a baby. Any advice for people that are talking to the person having a baby?
I think sharing your own birth horror stories is probably not the best.
Yeah, no, that seems,
It seems not a nice thing to do. And in the moment, if we have a friend or family member that's in the hospital that's being there to help, inserting yourself into decision making where you're well, I don't think you should do XYZ. cut it out.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Shaming the person if they're making a decision that you don't agree with. Don't do that. Also getting defensive if that person who's in labor is mean. Give her grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let her bite you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay.
Yes.
We'll get over it. She can cuss at you. She can bite you. I promise she'll be nicer later.
Yes. Okay. Now wait. I feel like I feel like I have to like ask you about this while I have you.
Yeah.
So where do you see this ending? Like mifepristone like been cut down. Like, and these like hospitals are shutting down. Like, in Jen's perfect world, how would we deal with this as a society?
I'm so scared about it, honestly. Like, and I need to give you the perspective that I grew up evangelical church, pro-life. And I'm putting pro-life in quotes because I believe that there's so much more to being pro-life than just making sure a baby is born. There's a quote that's like, all you want is a baby born and not a baby fed, a baby born but not a baby housed. Like, if we're truly wanting to be pro-life, this is not it.
Yeah.
You know? And I've had a situation where, I had a patient with, 4 other children. She's living paycheck to paycheck. She's working 3 jobs, just trying to hold on, and then got pregnant with a baby with a very bad prognosis. And, her and the baby's whole life would be hospitalized and everything. And, walking with her through that and the decision that she was making, I mean, she was absolutely heartbroken. Like, she wanted that, but she said, my other babies need me. Like, I can't leave them. I can't be away. I don't have the family structure, So it just really, I wasn't as pro-choice until I became a labor and delivery nurse. And I see the women that go through these things that I could never imagine. And I'm like, why is the government in this decision at all? Why are they here? So having to decide as like medical professionals when someone is sick enough to intervene is just atrocious.
So how do you, because you live in North Carolina, like how do you confront people or not confront people? Like how do you approach people that are just like diametrically opposed to like queer inclusion or like being pro-choice or like women's rights?
Yeah. I think that honestly, like bringing it back to Jesus, really, I mean, I have said in a video that, when I am handing someone a pill that will end their pregnancy, I believe that, if Jesus was here, he would be holding her hand, Do you think that Jesus would be stoning her? Or, I think that there's so much compassion and empathy that has been lost. And so when we choose hate over love, I think that that is diametrically opposed to the things that we were taught as children about who Jesus was and is.
Especially this person was like crucified by the state.
Yeah.
And if you think about like the example that you were saying, a woman who's like has kids, she's working multiple jobs. And even so, like, even if it was just like a woman who like didn't have any kids and could afford it, and she was like, I don't want to fucking be pregnant.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
I think Jesus would still be holding her hand.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and because it's just so true. Like he was like about compassion and he was like judge not lest you be judged. And I feel like a lot of these hoes are like, or a lot of these people are probably like doing all sorts of stuff that like is like in the Old Testament somewhere that you shouldn't be doing.
Oh yeah. Eating shrimp. And
yeah, like with like showing your hair at church, whatever it is.
What's the thing you've been putting off? The side hustle, the little shop, the product idea, the one day I'm going to do that dream that keeps tapping you on the shoulder. Because 2026 is giving stop waiting, start building. That's why I love Shopify. Shopify is hands down the best place to start and grow a business. We even use it at my gorgeous hair care line, JVN Hair. Whether you're testing a side hustle, launching a full-blown brand, selling online, in person, locally, globally, Shopify takes so much of the guesswork out. The templates are gorgeous, the tools are easy, and everything lives in one place. So you're not juggling 47 apps, passwords, and chaos. Plus, Shopify's AI tools can help with images, copy, reports, ideas. It's like having a little business bestie in the background. It's time to believe in the power of you this year, babes. So get yourself started today. Check out shopify.com/JVN. Hey, Better Babes, it's time for our monthly docket drop with our friends at Americans United for Separation of Church and State. And this month, we're looking at a new lawsuit involving the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or USDA, and what Americans United says is a serious church-state separation issue inside the federal workplace. Here's the core of it. Americans United has filed a lawsuit on behalf of 7 federal workers and the National Federation of Federal Employees, or the NFFE, which represents 110,000 federal employees, including thousands of USDA workers. The lawsuit focuses on an Easter email sent to USDA employees by Secretary of Agriculture Brooke L. Rollins. According to Americans United, the message was not simply a holiday greeting. Their lawsuit argues that Secretary Rollins used her official position to promote her own religious beliefs to a large group of federal workers, and that distinction matters. Because in America, religious freedom is supposed to protect everyone. That means people are free to believe, pray, worship, celebrate, or not participate in religion at all. But it also means the government is not supposed to use public office, taxpayer resources, or official workplace channels to elevate one religious belief over others. According to AU, the email referred to, quote, our faith and said that, quote, Jesus has been raised from the dead, end quote. For Christian employees, that may be a familiar and meaningful belief. But for a federal workforce made up of people from many different faiths and people who are not religious, the question becomes, should an official government email make employees feel like one religious viewpoint is the government's preferred viewpoint? Americans United says no. And listen, this is exactly why church-state separation is not some dusty old phrase from history class. It's a living protection. It protects the Jewish federal worker. It protects the Muslim federal worker. It protects the Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, atheist, agnostic, spiritual, but not religious, and Christian federal worker. It protects every single person's right to believe as they choose without the government putting its thumb on the scale. Because religious freedom for only some people is not religious freedom. Religious freedom has to mean everyone. And this is where Americans United comes in. Their work is about making sure government officials do not use the power of public office to impose religion on the people they serve or the people who work for them. So for this month's docket drop, the takeaway is this. A federal workplace should be a place where everyone can serve the public without being pressured, excluded, or made to feel like they must share the religious beliefs of the person in charge. That is what church-state separation helps to protect. I want you to keep up with this case, you guys. And to do that, make sure that you're heading over to au.org/gettingbetter. Again, if you want to keep up with the work that Americans United is doing, head to au.org/gettingbetter. That's au.org/gettingbetter.
So what was an example of like someone who like didn't have a great experience? It's like because they thought they were gonna have a natural birth and then it turned out to be like an emergency C-section and and they were just like, I didn't get to hold my baby the way that I thought I was going to, and I was so stressed, and that's like now I wanted to bring my baby into the world. Like, is that an example?
Yeah, it happens so often where something goes different, right? Every once in a while, you'll have some like that where it's like, man, I was really planning on this like unmedicated vaginal birth, and then it switched all of a sudden to an emergency C-section. That happens. But I'd say most often the disappointment comes not even from like the crazy ones like that, where it's going from one extreme to the other. It's like, they come in sometimes with really unrealistic expectations of their body. Like I had somebody who on the internet, somebody said that you shouldn't push your baby out. You should just let it come out itself, called the fetal ejection reflex. That doesn't always happen.
But that happens sometimes?
It sometimes happens. It's like basically throwing up out your asshole. It just like, it just comes out, okay? You can't stop it. It's like a train. Your baby just comes out.
Is that the story? So like when like the lady like was like, oh, I'm in labor, and like the water breaks, and then like the baby like got delivered by the time they got to the hospital?
Yeah, like bam, right? It just comes out.
What's that called again?
So it's called a fetal ejection reflex. A precipitous birth is like a birth that's really quick. Fetal ejection reflex is just the moment that the baby comes out, but it's like you can't control it. The baby's just coming.
So this is like kind of probably a deep cut, but I've just never heard of this before.
Yeah,
and I'm like really fascinated.
Yeah.
Do we know like how often this fetal ejection thing happens? Is it like 10% of people?
It's not It's not as common as I think it could be. I mean, a lot of people have epidurals and stuff. It still can happen with an epidural.
Oh, it can?
Yeah. It's more likely to happen if you don't have an epidural because you're feeling all of it. But I did have somebody who said, I'm not going to push because the internet said that I didn't have to. And we stayed completely dilated for like 10 hours, and because she expected this of her body, that it was just going to happen. And, at some point we have to come to terms with like, this doesn't happen for everyone, and it doesn't mean that your body failed. It means that we work with the new information and we be able to get this baby out a different way. But there was grief and sadness in that, when I feel like if she kind of gave herself grace to make decisions in new circumstances, that she would leave that experience a little bit more, giving herself grace. And
not everyone
happy
has
about
that.
herself.
Like,
that
thing.
Yeah.
Fetal ejection.
Yeah, fetal ejection reflex. It's like, bleh.
What an incredible, I mean, I'm not to make a joke about it, but I am sitting with her grief as well, because like that sounds cool.
Yeah,
like,
I would love for that to happen too.
Not to be socialized as a boy, but I do have a question.
Okay.
Is that whole pooping thing true?
Yes. There's many turds. There's so many
Everybody
turds.
across the board.
I'm not going to say everybody. I'd say a lot of people, but I am a poop ninja. Okay?
Oh, you just know how to like clean it?
Mm-hmm. I don't
they
lie
never
to
even
people.
know.
I don't lie to people. I make an exception for that. I do not, because so many people are so embarrassed and worried about it. And you most of the time can't feel that you're pooping because there's so much happening down there. And some people come in with their partners that they haven't even farted in front of, much less squeaked out a turd. So
on a table.
Yeah, exactly.
So then what happens?
So then, like, if I see it happening, I just like, I clean them up in other ways and then just like, And you know what else I do? I put it in a Ziploc bag.
You just have one ready?
I have one ready just in case. So then they don't smell it either.
You probably don't smell it because you guys are already wearing masks probably in there. Or do you not?
We don't anymore because of COVID. I mean, it's better now. So, I mean, sometimes you can wear a mask if you want to. But yeah, we put it away.
If anyone's ever like just really shitting their brains out, whenever like, I just need a mask today. I need to like get, no, you're just like a shade-free zone.
No smells bother me. No wetness bothers me. Like, you can't work there and be bothered by those things.
You're like, nothing is grossing you out now.
There was one time I had a nurse that was taking over for me, and she walked in and there was this Ziploc bag. She lifts this up because it's the same bag we send like our lab work in. She's like, "What is this?" Because she holds it up. It's just like
shit bag.
It's just like turds and wipes. I was like,
that's her shit
my
bag
of turds. It's fine.
Okay, wait. Another like random, but it's still on the subject.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Pitt?
I love The Pitt.
Did you see this last season?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm completely caught up. I think I have a couple weeks that I haven't caught up.
So you didn't
I have
see
seen the pregnant one. I have seen that.
And
yes.
you saw the
seizure one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
it. Okay, so spoilers
I
had for season 2 of The Pitt, but I do want to talk about this because you're a medical professional. I have to talk about it. So, so the lady was like, she wanted to do, I think she called it a wild birth.
Wild pregnancy and free birth. So wild pregnancy is like you get no prenatal care or anything. And then wild birth or free birth is like birthing without any medical professionals there whatsoever.
So those both seem like pretty high risk, right?
Yeah. I mean, would I make that choice? No. But I think that when we look at that scenario where someone is choosing that, we have to recognize that there are reasons that people choose that. People feel safer to do it alone than to do it in the hospital. And I think that says a lot about where we are in OB, that like we have a lot farther to go to make people feel seen, heard, and safe. So, I can't ever judge someone for doing that, but it can put you at great risk if something does happen.
If you don't want to get a spoiler for The Pitt on this one thing, then you can fast forward a little. But honestly, like, it's so good. And like to have Jen Hamilton here at the same time for us to be able to talk about it. Like, I don't know when this is going to happen. So maybe just like deal with it because it's already been out for a few weeks. So basically this patient comes in. That's how I would say it, right?
Yeah.
Like this patient comes in and and something's happening. She's giving like Sybil in Downton Abbey, which you probably didn't watch because you don't watch Gilded Age, but that's okay. Sybil in Downton Abbey dies of preeclampsia, very unexpectedly in the end of season 3. And it was very devastating. So a pregnancy, I'm always ready for preeclampsia because of Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready for fucking preeclampsia scare anytime. I know what could happen. especially in 1918.
Yes.
Okay. It was a different fucking time. Okay. They didn't even have fucking like C-sections in.
Right.
But Robert could have saved her if he would have just listened to Cora. But that's not the point, you know? So the point is, I got so upset talking about downtown. Okay. Oh yeah. So the patient comes in and she she was like, oh, I'm doing a wild pregnancy. And I have, and then she kind of explains to the people in there what that is. Cause at least in their writing, like, I don't know. But would you assume in real life that the doctors and nurses would all know already what a wild pregnancy was in an ER?
I think most of them would. We kind of get the vibe right off the bat. I mean, because you kind of get it immediately.
So would something like that happen? Like, because your job is at like at a OBGYN, like
hospital. Yeah.
Like, so you're always like delivering babies like all the time. Like you're not like in the ER, you're like delivering babies all the time.
Yeah.
So would something like that happen where like a lady might come in and be like, I'm 8 months along. I haven't done anything yet because I really wanted to do this because I saw it on like whatever, or I didn't even see it on the internet. I just like wanted to do this. But now I'm like nervous because I have like a fever or like I'm feeling something weird. Like, does that happen?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes we have people who went their whole pregnancy with no prenatal care, were trying to have a home birth for 3 days and then come in, you know, like, and it's, I mean, I just think about how scary that is for them, you know? And so, yes, bad things can really happen, but I still want to be like a steady hand to hold for those people because I can't imagine coming in knowing that this was not anything you ever wanted, but the bravery it takes to ask for help whenever you get to that moment. Yeah.
That is so, I love hearing you say that. And I can see the compassion and the warmth in your face. The closest I've ever had to like having a baby of my own was my 6th grade guinea pig having her babies. And I would hold her on my, like, I would hold her like watching TV and I could feel her babies. I could feel her babies kicking through her stomach.
Wow.
And I could literally feel it like hit my stomach. I was like, that's the closest I'll ever feel. But so I can't really compare to like knowing what it's like to have a baby, obviously. But I do know what it's like to feel medically shamed.
Sure.
Like there's been a lot of times where I've gone into like different testing centers and like smaller places where like I might say to like a nurse practitioner, like, yeah, I did X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And so I just so appreciate that you're meeting people like with vulnerability and compassion and like, and especially because like, even when I saw that patient on the Pitt, I was like, I just noticed there was like, I had some judgment. And I think part of the writing was like to make you feel a little bit like this. And then I was like, no. Okay, wait. What do you think about the CG when they like when they like?
It's incredible.
So you feel like that was pretty like accurate looking?
I mean, I think that they do a really good job on that show of.
But I mean, like the uterus part specifically on her scene, like that water thing. Like, did you say how the water was like shh?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to look a little bit different in real life, but I think that they do such a good job.
You had to rate it from a 1 to 10 on that scene specifically because that water like effect thing that it like when they cut and then it was like kind of, you know what I'm talking about? It's like that like icy almost like look like over the uterus, like the fake uterus. And would you like on the scale from 1 to 10, 10 being perfect representation?
Okay. I'm going to give it a 6.5 because in real life, obviously, it's going to look different. But I think that they did such a good job of working with, you know, I mean, it's basically like arts and crafts CGI. Like, I think that they have not much to work with when they can't show the actual thing. So I just think it's,
what would you have done to judge it to get it to a 10?
That's hard to know. I think that the things that I notice in those scenes are not so much that. It's like, the fact that like the monitors were flipped the wrong way. Like I noticed those little things, you know?
Oh, I love that.
So like I'm like, call me. Let me look at it.
She should be your consultant. Yeah. Oh my God, if you book like season 3 of the Pitt consultant from this, I'm going to
because I love the show so much. Because my previous life, I was an ER nurse.
You were?
Yes, I was an ER nurse for 6 years before I was ever labor and delivery.
Buried the lead. Yeah. So is that how that works? Like how does that work?
What do you mean?
Like working your way from like an ER nurse to like a labor and delivery nurse? Or is that like a moving up or just a moving lateral?
Moving lateral to a different thing. I think the beauty of nursing is that you have 1 degree and you can go do a zillion different things. So whenever I got burnt out in the ER, I was like, I need to do anything else. Honestly, I was looking for a different schedule. I found the schedule and I was like, oh, I'll try labor and delivery. I just remembered whenever I was in nursing school, it's just like a really wet place.
Oh yeah, it's just like fluids.
Yeah, it's just so many fluids, and I didn't know if that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, if I didn't have such a burnt out experience in the ER, I would probably still be there. I love the ER.
You do still?
Yeah, I do, and so I think that watching the Pitt, it just brings it all back. And I think they do a beautiful job of representing the stress, the like the administration side where it's like you're getting all this pressure.
Yeah,
from
that
both
girl,
sides.
I feel so bad for her having to log all her cases all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want her
Yeah.
to get over that one boy who like stole the drugs.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, can you forgive him?
Please.
Like we all
yes.
steal little drugs.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, not everybody, but we all have our moments.
There's some moments. Yeah. Human moments.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So if you're listening to this or you're watching this and you're like, wait, I'm pregnant. I didn't realize I was going to be pregnant. Like I got to get it ready. How can someone like set up their birthing vibes, set themselves up for the best results?
Yeah. So I believe that information is power, right? So I think that your entire pregnancy, you should be thinking about things that you like or you don't like, but not just the medical stuff. Be thinking about, how do I best react when someone's communicating with me in different ways? Do you need somebody who's a straight shooter? Do you need somebody who is going to hold your hand and be compassionate and sweet about everything? Do you need someone who's going to give you, like, draw stuff for you to help you understand? How do you process information? What kind of environment do you want to create for yourself? Because you don't have to just live with the sterile hospital environment. You can bring your own pillows and blankets. You can bring like a galaxy light and smells and sounds, and like you can make it your own place.
At the end of the day, what's giving you hope right now? What is making you feel like joyful? What's making you feel like you can like continue on with your mission of like spreading awareness, spreading more maternal health and advocacy? What's giving you hope? What's filling up your cup?
I think that recognizing that there are so many people out there who have the same values and morals and are also fighting for the same things that I am. I think it's just such a beautiful thing whenever I see that come through and the support, and like people just want to help. I mean, I think that there's so many times that I've tried to like raise money for stuff. I mean, just people like, absolutely.
And Jen, congratulations so much on the book, Birth Vibes. It's available wherever you get your books. Did you do the audio?
I did.
Yes,
that was so much fun.
queen.
Yes.
Listen to the audio. You can buy it wherever you get your books. And it's incredible. If you have anybody in your life who is like having a baby, thinking about having a baby, or you just like want to know more about babies, this is the book for you. And also, it feels so luxurious.
It is luxurious.
You did so well on this.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank
honey.
you so much.
I'm so glad that you're just in this world, like doing your thing and showing up as you are. Like, do not ever stop.
Same to you.